welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic Random Book Review. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have this book. I have a book similar to that, I think, back in the days where it was, you had like pirates, piratology, fairyology, Egyptology, not Egyptology, it was Egyptology. I have a calendar, but not the actual book, which I really wanted. And they had like tactile things you pull out, and this, then the other thing, and this is kind of in that same vein. So I went to the Will today, and it was $2. Yeah, he only charged me $2. And it's Lady Cottington's Pressed Fairy Book. And I had heard about, if not this book, at least the story of Lady Cottington, who actually was a real-life person in England, and way back in, it was what, 1910, early 1900s anyways, where this woman took pictures. Supposedly she had a picture of her daughter surrounded by fairies. So everybody's like, oh my gosh, and like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was like a proponent of like, this is a real photograph, obviously fairies are real. Now, I don't know whether she's seen fairies or not, whatever. But they later found out, of course, the picture was a hoax. It was like early Photoshop. And I guess, I'm not sure what happened to her, so I'm not quite sure if I should believe the story of Lady Cottington from this book because it was written by Terry Jones. If you let's see. It's kind of demented and hysterical. If you know Monty Python, you'll know who Terry Jones is, so you can kind of know the theme of what his what the humor is. And not quite as extreme as Monty Python, but here's the publisher's note, which I'm pretty sure was probably written by the RSPCF, the Royal Society of the the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Fairies. Whoop, sorry, fall down on my bum. Has asked the publisher to make it clear that no fairies are injured or killed during the manufacturing of this book. The pictures in this book are psychic impressions of fairies. The RSPCF would also like to point out that, after one or two unfortunate casualties in the early stages, all the fairies presented in these pages have discovered a way of leaving their psychic imprint without suffering any physical harm themselves. In fact, the whole process became recognized as a fairy sporting activity and qualified for the Gooseberry Medal at the Millennial Fairy Olympics in 1921. And basically, it kind of goes, it's like a diary of this person and her, not really a quest, but her hobby of pressing fairies, literally. So apparently the fairies would flutter about and she'd go smack, and there you have a pressed fairy. And like I said, it's kind of creepy, and it starts when she's like really young, so the writing is very childish, and then it continues on as she gets older and older. It gets more and more developed. Let's see, July 8th, 1895, I caught, C-O-R-T, another fairy, F-A-E-R-E-Y. It was flying past my window, but I was too quick for it, and it didn't see me coming, C-U-M-I-N-G, up behind it, but I only caught a bit of it. So she only caught the feet of the fairy. And of course, you know, the art being Brian Froud, I didn't realize that till later. So, yeah, I mean, it's like demented, but hysterical. Just referring to my notes as I sit awkwardly, trying not to be covered in cat hair. But it gets kind of hard to read later on because just my inability to read cursive, apparently. This page isn't so bad, but later on it gets really kind of, it's all the fancy stuff. And they actually have a pressed fairy for you. I don't know why. Oh, it's a sticker. Okay. That's creepy and demented. Don't know quite where you'd put a sticker of a squished fairy. There. That one's kind of gross. So it's like creepy and weird and it's funny, and the expressions on some of their faces. And at the end, there's quite a few rude, rude photos. Or photos, very squish. So, a person of, demented humor would probably appreciate this. Probably wouldn't give it to, like, a really little kid. Yeah, good, like, preteen, be like the earliest. I mean, it's a nice book, too. It even, it came from Barnes & Noble. Well, maybe that's where I saw it once. I probably saw it there and wanted it, and it was probably pretty expensive, which is why I didn't own it. For $2 now, it is now mine. Even, it's just a very nice looking book, and even feels it's like a padded book. Blah, blah. Speaky words, yes. So, it's a very well made book, and I love Brian Froud if you've been here long enough and have seen other reviews. So, this was quite the score, I think, and I just finished reading it tonight, so I am quite happy. Though I would not be one to press fairies. I have a sewing needle, a butterfly, and I find a bumble, but I found them already deceased. Sort of just there on the ground. So, that's the only way I collect life forms. And then the kitties caught me a snake. So, thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And try not to actually press fairies. Just leave them treats. See you next time. Bye.